We are back in the woods, everybody, after a long week of rest and relaxation and rehabilitation in the situation. Back on the Appalachian National Scenic Trail. Alright, so that was my shuttle driver in the red car who just dropped me off, Homer. And got a big day today. I'm hiking south. I'm gonna go back into the hostel that I stayed at last week. I got in last night yesterday from Roanoke and just spent the night there, and they picked me up and brought me here. And I've got 21 miles hiking south back to the hostel today. So the train is not, I don't think it's gonna be terrible. We're gonna cross the Blue Ridge Parkway probably 2 or 3 times, maybe more. And there are some ups. I'm about to start one right now. And there's going to be some pretty easy terrain as well. So I think all in all, it's going to be a decent day with moderate work involved. But I'm up for it. We'll see. As I've been doctoring my foot over the past week, I really haven't done much at all to get out and hike or exercise or whatever, because I wanted to take care of my foot. So we're going to see how much endurance can be lost, I guess, in the course of a week from not exercising. You know, so it's just one of those things I had to kind of balance out a little bit. What's most important? So we'll see how well we do. And we'll keep you posted as we get further down the trail. And I got a feeling with the rain pass and these clouds moving out, we should have some decent views on these overlooks up on the parkway. So we'll see. All right, folks, we made it to our first crossing of the Blue Ridge Parkway. It may look familiar to some of you guys who've been on the parkway. Look at this view. Wow. Sun's up. Clouds are breaking over the valley. It's really nice. Birds are singing. It's gonna be a great day. This is the official overlook here on the right hand side. Let's see which one this one is. There's so many today, I can't really keep them straight as to exactly what order we're following in. Okay, this is Mills Gap. The Mills Gap overlook. Overview or view of whatever you want to say. Pretty valley. Zoom you in. Ooh. Pretty view of the valley. There's some big properties in this area, in these valleys. You know, I'm sure they're farms and things that's just been handed down over time, generation probably. Beautiful. All right, let's keep on going. Over there's the trail. It's a real nice day, folks. I mean, it's a good day for hiking. It's a little bit cool. We've had rain here, I guess, the last 2 days, and the ground is softer, I think, but it's not muddy, and a little breezy. You might hear a little bit of wind here and there. So see some of the views back through there again off the parkway. Just walking along the parkway uphill now, but I took the opportunity to change out a few things out of my pack while I was back home. Got rid of some of the darker color clothes, which I will tend to wear, like black shirts and things like that, because in the winter, if you just get some sun on that black shirt, it helps warm things up. So I went to lighter colors. No big deal, no change in weight really. I did get rid of some long underwear. I hope I don't need those again for a while. And most importantly, I got rid of my 0-degree sleeping bag, which was probably the biggest and most bulky thing I have in my backpack. Went to a 30-degree, and hope I don't regret that anytime soon, but I'm not using it as much as I thought it might be anyway, because I'm trying to stay in hostels more and probably not out so much. But I do have a plan, I think, this week where I will be out one day for sure. We'll test it out, but I think that day the temperatures get up to about 75 degrees, so I don't think I'm gonna be cold or anything like that. So I think it's gonna be fine. But made some good adjustments, and I think it'll make a difference. Hope everybody's having a good day, and we'll catch up with you down the path. Okay, folks, we've reached our second intersection with the Appalachian Trail. This overview is called the Peaks of Otter, and it highlights a couple of peaks, which is it's called Sharp Top and Flat Top. So the mountain there on the right is Sharp Top, and I have to assume that the one on the left is Flat Top. So yeah, those are about, give you a sense of how far away that is. It's 6.5 miles out there, and you can see the beautiful valley below. Again, lots and lots of these overlooks today, I'm sure. We won't count them. This is number 2, Peaks of Otter. And then of course you have the one on the other side of the road. This is the view that we looked at earlier of the valley. Really nice. So yeah, we're making pretty good progress. We may be as much as 3 miles in already today. Got probably about 18 miles left to go. So making pretty good progress. The other thing I changed, I was talking about changes out on my gear. The other thing I changed was my tent. I have a lighter tent. I love the tent that I have, but frankly I wasn't using it very much, and I might regret this a little bit further up the road, further up the trail, where there's less opportunities to stay in hostels and whatnot. If that be the case, then I can change it out again. But I got another tent. It's a Z-Packs duplex, which I like. Okay, it's only like 19 ounces, and I'm carrying it. But it's not as comfortable. To me, it's not as roomy as the other tent. But that's what you sacrifice when you start going for comfort. Is usually comfort weighs more pounds. That's the case in the sleeping bag, that's for sure, as well as the tent. But traded some stuff out to make the bag a little lighter. So when I went through the Atlanta airport yesterday, and I had to check my backpack, and if you put it up on those scales, and it weighed 23 pounds. That was fully loaded with about 4 days of food. The only thing I wasn't carrying, the only thing I didn't have in the pack was water. And so that's exceptional weight on a backpack. Anything under 30 is pretty good. If you can get below 25 pounds, you're doing really well, I think. So I'm happy with the adjustments I've made. I think taking that weight off the bag, it also takes the weight off my foot and rest of my body. Allows me to move down the trail a little bit quicker. So I'm happy with some of the adjustments I've made in my gear. Okay, well, let's keep on clicking off the miles and making it happen today. Look at this stone wall, everybody. Massive amount of work. Put up as a retention wall. You can see up there the guardrail, which is right at the Blue Ridge Parkway. So all this work, I'm sure, was done by the CCC. The CCC is a civil conservation corps that was established back in 1933. The government at the time, led by FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, established this to hire young men, unmarried young men who could be away from home months and months at a time, working out here in the wilderness, building this Blue Ridge Parkway highway. The whole Blue Ridge Parkway was kind of dreamt of following a meeting between Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the governor of Virginia back in 1933. And at that time, Skyline Drive, coming out of the Shenandoah National Park, had just been completed. And the vision was to extend the Skyline Drive and build a parkway to the next national park, which was the Great Smokies National Park in the south, and have one large highway that connected it all. And it was called the Park to Park Highway project at the time. So meetings occurred between the governors of Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia, mapping out a plan to make that work. And the work began and proceeded, but politics got in its way. As you know, there's not a parkway that runs all the way through Tennessee. The vision was it would go over Unica Mountain and through Irwin, Hot Springs, pretty much following what we know today is the Appalachian Trail, all the way to the Smokies. But local politicians in Asheville got very involved. Asheville was very impacted by the Great Depression, and there was some influence that happened there, which diverted the parkway further east once it crossed into North Carolina, and of course now made its way into and around the Asheville, North Carolina area to bring new jobs into that area and into that region. So that's what happened back in 1933. The overall parkway was finished in 1966, and all except about 7 miles. There's a 7-mile area around Grandfather Mountain. The owners of the Grandfather Mountain was really concerned about the impact to the ecology around there, and how do animals cross the road and all that sort of stuff, that type of thing. And so the solution to that was to build what is known today as the viaduct. If anybody's spending time in that area, there's a beautiful, just an engineering wonder called the viaduct, and it's more like a bridgeway that just goes around the mountains. Animals can pass up and under it, so can water. It really minimizes the overall impact to the local ecology. And so it was finished in 1987, and ultimately the overall Blue Ridge Parkway was at that point, finally finished over 50 years later from its inception. And now it stands with over 400 miles of Blue Ridge Parkway. So that's some of the history of the Blue Ridge Parkway. And I am blessed today to be walking beside of it for most of the day, and across it for a couple of times so far today, and being rewarded with a few very beautiful views. So again, hope everybody has a wonderful day. It's a great day here in Virginia, and we'll catch up with you as we get further down the path. Crossing of the Blue Ridge Parkway. This overview, just the valley down below, talks about hawk migrations here, and talks specifically about birds. It says during to mid-late September, visitors to this site might see as many as 1,200 birds in a day. So evidently an area known for the hawk migration. Beautiful valley. Goes on and on and on and on. You can see mountains in the far, far distance. The valley below. It's kind of windy, kind of breezy. Still kind of cool. Wow. What we call a turkey buzzard. Alright, let's press on. Across the road is the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to get back in the trees, and hopefully they will serve to knock some of this wind off of me, because it's actually pretty chilly with the wind blowing. Again, I think temperatures probably now are mid 40s, but with the wind chill it's probably less than that. But overall, good day for weather, good day for hiking. Alright, Blue Ridge Parkway crossing number 4, I believe it is. This is a view of Montvale. I assume this area here, the valley, is called Montvale. Wow, check out the clouds in the sky. The camera, it's more prevalent in the camera than it is by eye, but streaks of clouds are pretty cool. Beautiful valley, mountains, long distance. Awesome. Okay, I had to wrap up a little bit, y'all. It's getting a little chilly, breezy and windy. I think it's just the wind that kind of cuts through these open gaps like this. Makes it a bit colder. But we'll be back in the woods right now. Okay. I think we've made it to our 5th crossing of the Blue Ridge Parkway. This This is called the Taylor Mountain View. I presume that mountain is Taylor Mountain. It's really windy, y'all. Down here. According to that blaze on the guardrail, the Appalachian Trail is following the rail. Should look standing in the middle of the road. Folks, I've actually found a little bit of trail here. It's got rhododendrons on both sides. It's blocking the wind real nice. I think it's going to run out on top of this hill. I got some news. Hopefully it holds true. Is that up at this next gap, we have an opportunity to meet a fellow by the name of Fresh Ground. Fresh Ground is known as a trail angel. He spends a lot of his year just feeding hikers. So he'll kind of follow the bubble of people as they move north, feed them breakfast or lunch or whatever. And he's quite a legend. And I've never met him personally, but according to some people I've passed, he's set up at the next gap serving breakfast and lunch. So it's only it's around 11 o'clock, so I'm kind of in between breakfast and lunch, so I think my odds of catching him is pretty good. So let's go see if we can meet Mr. Fresh Grounds and maybe get an early lunch. That'd be great. All right, let's see what we get into. All right, folks, check it out. We made it to Black Horse Gap, and that is Fresh Grounds van full of stickers. Yeah. No, I'm actually northbound. I'm just doing southbound today. Fixin' to. Fixin' to. Fixin' to hike. Fixin' to.
I heard you. Yeah,
Fixin', F-I-X-I-N?
Yep,
Fixin'
T-O.
with the number 2?
No, just T-O. It's more of an intention, right?
T-O or T-W?
Exactly, T-O.
T-O. Fixin' to. Okay,
Fixin' to. Fixin' to.
How about a leftover breakfast or burrito?
Oh, I'm fixing to have a burrito.
You got it.
Yeah,
That's the name.
you got it right off, didn't you?
What do you
Yeah.
want to drink?
I don't, I'm not all picky. Have some coffee.
We've got coffee, cocoa, tea.
Coffee would be
Or we
great.
got orange juice, Gatorade. Coffee's right here. Let me make you a pot.
Yeah, don't go to any trouble.
No, my name is Fresh Ground. I'm always got coffee.
I know. I want to get a picture with you.
You good? Might as well take it. Take it in motion. You break it up. You like that.
Got a burrito by the fire. Well, that was a nice surprise, and really cool to meet with Fresh Grounds and the Leapfrog Cafe is what he calls his van, the Leapfrog Cafe. He accepts donations throughout the year, and he pulls it all together and builds out a plan and does his best to feed as many hikers heading northbound as he can each year. So he's really a blessing to a lot of people out here. So I don't know what I enjoyed more, the burrito or the warm fire, to be honest with you. Either way, I sat there too long, but reality was I was going to stop somewhere and eat a little bit of lunch and spend a little bit of time resting before heading back on the trail. I probably just stayed a little longer than I would have otherwise with that fire. But we're back on trail now. I just looked at my app, and I've got about 13 miles left. So that's going to take me probably six hours. Should be able to knock that out. So yeah, we're doing okay. So everything's feeling good and making good progress today. It's been a good day. A cold and chilly day with the wind, but overall pretty nice day. So let's cease all the talking and get back to some walking, and we will catch up with you a little further down the path. All right. So we have come upon the Wilson Creek shelter. It looks like the standard style of shelter that we've seen here in Virginia. Typically sleep at about 8. You got a real nice picnic table out front. Looks like a good shelter, but I've got no reason to stop there. I probably would have maybe had lunch there or something, but lunch was taken care of earlier, as you guys saw. So I'm going to just keep on walking. I checked the map, and it looks like I got about around 10 miles left to go. There's a deer. 10 miles left to go. So that'll put me in at right around 5 o'clock, I think. So that's kind of was my outside estimate before. Oh, here's deer. Let's go get these guys. On the deer. Nah. Still got all of her winter fur. Be shedding that soon enough. But anyway, 10 miles left to go. It's right now about noon. So I will I'll do 2 miles an hour now. You'll see I've kind of been headed down a good bit, but look up here. I've got to climb this. I know I got to climb this mountain. I've got one pretty significant up I've got to do before the end of the day, and then I go off the backside again down into Daleville. So that's the plan. We'll keep you posted as we get further down the path. Nice little creek crossing, water source. I really hadn't, I haven't consumed a lot of water in the past 11 miles. It's just been cool, and I certainly haven't sweated any. I had a cup of coffee when I was eating the burrito. So I've drank 6 or 8 ounces of water, and that's kind of all I felt like I've needed. So anyway, I'm carrying a lot of water. I'm in good shape as far as that goes. Look at all the red buds that's bloomed. I tell you what, since I was here last week, got a lot more trees that have bloomed out in just a short period of time. So I made it up and over the big climb, and kind of making it down the back side. I've only got 2 miles left, so 2 miles means 1 hour, and the cool winds have returned, the jacket has returned, and just doing my best to stay warm and keep moving. overall the day has been fine. It's just been, I'd characterize it as a long hike, 21 miles. I don't really want to go many more miles than that. I mean, no more miles than that, honestly. I'm going to start to try to, after tomorrow, we're going to try to pare it back a little bit and kind of stay in the teens. I think that's where my sweet spot is, if you will. And it's above 20 is probably not helping the old man's bones too much. But I've got a couple miles left, and it's obviously mostly downhill from here. And got to get back to the hostel and get connected up on the Wi-Fi and try to have some dinner and whatnot. So take a shower, get ready for another big day tomorrow. But it's really been a very nice day, a really nice, diverse day with a lot of different scenery, from the Blue Ridge Parkway until back into some of this lower area where you got all these beautiful red buds and things are blooming. So it's been a overall day, good day. And I think probably the high point for me, it's kind of silly because food is always the most important thing for me, is having the opportunity to meet really what a trail angel legend is epitomized with Fresh Grounds. He does a super job, and I was able to sit there and have some conversation with him and have a nice cup of hot coffee while I was waiting, and had a really good burrito for lunch, and kind of lifts the spirits a little bit. But overall, a really, really, really good day. And guess what? We are never, ever done with all these blowdowns. So more and more. Not near as many as we used to have, but we still have them. All right, folks. We'll catch up at least one more time, I think, before we call it a day. And I look forward to seeing you down the trail. What is this up here? Got a little bridge. Check it out. Can't really say I understand the value of this one a little too much. I don't know. I guess it has value, but it looks like it would be just as easy to traverse on the ground, but I appreciate somebody's effort. Okay, catch up with you a little bit further down the trail. All right, looks like we might get to finish this day with a little bit of field walking. Be nice. Although I saw the sign back there basically saying that the next several miles was a very narrow corridor, stay on the trail. That typically means that the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, they negotiate a pathway through private property. So the private property owner, of course, they want to limit the amount of impact that's had on their property. So when you start going up a hill, here's a good example. When you start going up a hill, it'll go straight up a hill. They don't want this switchback stuff, which would obviously have a broader impact on their acreage. Straight up the hill is the way they want you to go. Yeah, looks like we're going for a minute too. So, all right, I'll be huffing and puffing. Let me knock this out and we'll get back together. All right. So that's the hill I came up. At least we are rewarded with a nice view across Delville. It's funny how the trail always seems to throw that in right at the very end when you think you're done. You're not done. it just toys with you. All right, let's get on down here to the hostel. All right, folks, I've made it to the 1/3 the way to Mount Katahdin in Maine sign. We only have 2/3 left to do. That's cool. And boom, here we are, just where I started earlier this morning, back at the Beach Hill Hostel. I'm ready for a shower and try to find some food. All right, hope everybody has a great day. We'll talk to you soon.